Hello everyone, it's Nina. Thanks so much for stopping by today. Today is day number 2 of the Newton's Nook February release, and I'm showcasing one of their new stamp sets called Made from Scratch. We're going to be making this clean and simple cluster card using some easy Copic coloring. And there's also a blog hop, so be sure to head on over to my blog where you can see more cards from the other designers. Here is the stamp set. I love how cute this is and how many cute little images it has in the set. I'm going to be using quite a few of them today. I've already die cut a bunch of the pieces out using the coordinating dies. I'm going to go ahead and start stamping on top of them. Right now I'm just kind of figuring out which ones I want to use. So here I've got my stamps, and I'm going to be stamping these in Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. And I'm just going to quickly go ahead and stamp on top of these little die cut pieces. You could go ahead and stamp onto the paper and then die cut them out afterwards, but this is just how I ended up doing it for this particular card. So here I'm going to start my Copic coloring. I'm going to be doing very simple Copic coloring and using no more than 2 or 3 colors per image. And I'm doing some very simple shading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some music and let you watch, and then I will come back after I've finished all the coloring and we continue making the rest of the card. Alright, so now I've got some cardstock here, and I'm going to be die cutting this from My Favorite Things Cross Stitch Stacks die. This is one of the medium-sized dies that are included in that set. I'm just going to go ahead and run this through my Big Shot machine and die cut this panel out. Next, I'm going to take my Martha Stewart scoring board, and this is a smaller sized card. I'll have the dimensions listed on the side of the screen for you. And I'm just going to be making this so that way my panel will fit right inside. I ended up scoring at about 5 inches. So here I've got my Misty Stamping tool, and I'm lining up where I'm going to be putting my mixer because this is going to be the image in the center of this cluster. And I'm just using this as a guide for where I'm going to be putting my sentiment. So I'll just go ahead and remove that now. And then I'll go ahead and stamp my sentiment onto my card using this Misty tool. This Misty tool is super handy for stamping images like this because it gets them in the perfect place, and you can always restamp them if you didn't stamp them right the first time. So I'm using Versamark ink, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp this sentiment onto my panel. This sentiment is again from that same Made from Scratch stamp set. Once I have that stamped, I'm going to go ahead and heat emboss it with some silver embossing powder. And then I'll go ahead and heat set that. Here I'm cutting down some craft foam or fun foam, and I'm going to be attaching this to the back side of my panel. This will give my panel some nice even coverage instead of using some foam tape. This will give it much more support and ensure that it won't get crushed in the mail. So I'm just going to line this up on the back side. I've already taken off all the adhesive. I'm using some score tape here, and I'm just removing the backer pieces from that adhesive. So I'll go ahead and press that down, and then I will go ahead and take that and put it onto my card base using that same method. I'm going to go ahead and take that same score tape and put it on the back side, and then go ahead and put it on my card. I've got some ribbon here now that I'm going to be tying into a little bow. You can use any type of ribbon you want for this. I'm using some satin pink ribbon, and this is about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm just going to go ahead and tie this into a cute little bow. I'm going to start arranging my little elements now, and I'm taking some foam tape and attaching some of them onto my card using that foam tape, and then others I will attach down with just some regular adhesive. Like for instance, this spoon I'm going to lay down with some regular adhesive, and then I'll put that little measuring cup right on top of it with that foam tape. So I'm going to keep arranging these little elements. I ended up, to kind of give you an idea of how I end up arranging these things, I tested it out first, kind of played around with it before adding any adhesive on there, and then I took a picture with my phone. And off on the side of the screen, I have my phone sitting there with a picture of how I liked the arrangement that I had made. So if you're coming up with something and you want to make sure that you keep the same arrangement that you had tested out before, take a picture of it and go ahead and have that handy so that way you can go ahead and reference that when you're putting something like this together. It's really helpful and is a great way to be able to remember where you've put your images and how you want to keep this arranged for your card design. So to add some decoration, I'm using some Wink of Stella clear glitter and applying this on top of some of the little elements on this image. Then I'm also going to take some glossy accents and apply that over top some of the areas that I want to have a bit more shiny and raised up, such as this little measuring cup, and I also added it to the mixer in spots as well. It just adds a little bit more extra dimension and shine and really adds a nice finishing element to your card design. So that's going to do it. I hope you've enjoyed. Be sure to stop over at my blog where you can get more information on this card, including the products used. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments section below. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. There's a blog hop going on as well over on my blog, so be sure to head on over there for more information. And if you enjoyed this video, here's one other one that you might be interested in, featuring Newton's Nook design products and also Copic markers. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we'll see you again soon.